The fact that I only found out the word endometriosis when I was in my 30s is shameful. And the fact that teenagers are not educated about their menstrual health and their bodies, and to know, we're kind of taught, especially in Ireland, we were taught like, look at a boy and you'll get pregnant. And then you start trying to have kids and you're like, why am I not pregnant straight away? Oh, actually, there's all these things that can be going on in your body that you don't know about. So for me, it's like the more that I can raise awareness about this, and that's what the song is for. And the video features all endo warriors from all over the world.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So.
And it's just spreading that awareness, isn't it? And shouting it from the rooftops. And I think if you've got a message and you've got a platform, then you have to share what you've learned.
100%. And it's like you with the brain tumor. It's like you become almost an expert. Like, obviously when that first happened, then you're researching. I've become an expert in this. I honestly feel like I know it more than, and a lot of endo warriors will say the same. You go in with more knowledge than the doctors sometimes, because they're going, wait, what? And you're saying all these things. I became so obsessed with wanting to know everything about this condition and how to live with it, and what I can do, like natural remedies that I can help, like anti-inflammatory eating and meditation and all different things that can help this. And for me, it's like I want to pass that on, and I feel like music is how I express myself. So to write a song about it, I honestly want it to be a song that, and I really, my nerves about releasing it were about like, I don't want people being like, oh, poor you, like sympathy. It's not about that. Anyone who knows me knows that like the last thing I do is ask for help.
She absolutely loves sympathy.
No, I'm like the least, like I'm like, get on with it. Like I don't need sympathy, right? But I need.
But she'll message all the time asking for sympathy.
Oh, please give me sympathy. No, honestly, I was nervous. I'm nervous still, like to put it out, because of like, I don't want it to look like to be a victim thing, because I'm not a victim.
But I don't think people perceive that now.
I hope not.
I think because where people have got platforms and they're talking about these things, I don't think people look at it like that.
Good.
Like,
because we shouldn't.
We had Olivia Bowen on here and she was
Amazing.
worried about talking out about losing a twin.
Yeah.
But it's just raising awareness, and the conversations that we've actually had on our social media has been absolutely incredible. Yeah. So again, I think you coming on talking about this opens the conversation, and we'll have so many people being like, I've gone through that. I've had this. I'm so happy that RuthAnne's released a song.
Yeah, because the thing is that I want the song to be, if you're in the bed and you can't get out of bed and you have to send that text being like, I'm so sorry that I'm sick again, I can't make this event, you can just send them this song and go,
this is what?
Do you want to know how I feel? This is how I feel. And in a song, this is what it is. The lyrics, everything, this is what it is. And that's what I wrote it for, is so that people can have the words to say when sometimes you don't have the words to say. And do you know what's even funny is that becoming a mom, and even becoming a mom the second time and going through some postpartum stuff, when I was listening back to The Way I'm Wired, I could actually relate my postpartum stuff to that song too. And I was like, oh, wow. It's not just, it's so many things that you feel as a woman or as a man that you go through that this song can relate to.
But the thing is with RuthAnne, she likes to be in control of everything.
I do.
And when she's out of control, she doesn't cope well.
No.
So she had everything under control with Lily May, and it was
just about.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
She was like your textbook perfect baby. And then Monroe came. She was like, hang on a sec. Why have I not got another textbook one? And then you felt out of control, and you can't feel like that. No, I like to be in control. I like to be like in
control, and I think
because you've controlled your career since you were.
That's what they say.
And your life, and where you're buying, what house you're living in, everything you have controlled. Yeah. And I think when things come out of your control, like your health and having babies,
I'm like, wait, I'm not in control of this. Like, I don't know what's going on in my body. I don't know. Like,
sorry, there's still got to be someone I can pay to make this better.
Well, for 100%, I am that person who's like, right, problem solve. Who do we need to get in? Like, let's get in.
She will get the best specialist, the best person.
Well, my endo specialist, like, say, but this is the thing. I'm like, all right, let's go. But that is exactly what happened to me with Monroe. It was like, you know, she had reflux, which I think anyone out there who has any type of like sick babies, colic, reflux, anything like that, it's not the newborn phase that you see on Instagram with the like newborn snuggles and they just sleep and then they eat and then they sleep. It's like, no, they're screaming, they're in pain, you're sleep deprived.
But if you see that on Instagram, that's not true. They're showing you about 10 seconds of their life.
Exactly, because we all know it's not like that. But
it's Insta versus reality all day
all the time.
long.
But I think that, like, for me, when I had Monroe, it was like, wait, like, I also, as well as loving being in control, I also give 100%. So I'm 100%er. If I'm your friend, you're getting 100%. If I'm at work, you're getting 100%. Lily Mae got 100%. And then I'm going, how do I give Monroe 100% and Lily Mae 100%? Like, I'm going to have to split myself. How do I split myself?
I think that's what you actually struggled with too.
Yeah.
The
splitting, the giving enough to both of them.
Because you'd given Lily Mae so much, and it was like, but now I've got to actually give part of me to another human. How am I going to do that?
And you love them, but and it's just like, and I guess I was, and the other thing was that it overwhelm of it all consumed me, of just like, why, like the questions I was asked, why can you not handle this? Loads of people have loads of kids, you know, Kelsey has 2 kids, she could, and I was and again I was like, why are you such a loser that I would see moms out with the 2 kids and I couldn't go out on my own with them. I needed someone.
But
like,
you were overthinking everything.
Yeah.
You got into your own head, and I think when you get into your own head, you can't think rationally.
No, I was frantic.
I'm probably such a laid back person that I don't overthink anything.
Yeah. Whereas it was my dad said to me, I'd gotten her asleep, right? Because you know what I'm like with the naps. And I was like, and I was still up here frantic. Like, why is she? And my dad goes, she's asleep now. Like, but you're still up here. And I realized I could not come down. The anxiety, I was also having crazy thoughts. If you've ever had postpartum anxiety, you're just, everything could hurt them. Like, you're moving everything away. Like, I'm like a hazard system.
But everyone thinks that is actually normal, but you have to rationalize it. Like, you have them weird thoughts when you have a baby and you think, like when you're walking down the stairs.
They're walking down the stairs. What if I drop the baby? Yeah.
What if I just whacked the baby's head from the door?
Off the wall.
It's never going to happen, but it's got to be something to do with our hormones.
100%.
That creates them wild thoughts.
Things. And just like, you know, I just was having crazy thoughts about someone getting hurt or them, you know, just all the things that you worry about with babies. And I think it was so heightened with Monroe. And then it was the guilt of like Lily Mae. I you know, there was things I always did with her every day. And then it was like I was feeding Monroe and I couldn't do those things. And not being able to lift her up because I'd had a C-section. It was just all of that. There was the mom guilt of like, I'm going to lose my bond with Lily Mae. Now, obviously, Monroe was 7 months now, and you know, everything has calmed down. But for those first 3 months, like, this might be controversial, but I don't really enjoy the newborn phase. I'm going to be honest. Like, I love it in the way of like, you know, it's, yeah, and they smell great, and it's just, and you've got this baby. But I find it really difficult because it's when they can't really give you much back. You don't really know what's wrong with them. You're trying to guess. And again, my high achieving, you know, control, like to know what's going on is like, can you just tell me what's wrong? And trying to figure it out. And the thing is, babies can, and so I find that really hard, and they're not being a routine. I'm such a like routine person. So when the 3 months comes though, that is when like everything started to get a bit better. And I did go get some help because for me it was like I needed to talk to someone. It got a bit out of control.
As your friend, and I think I actually spoke about it on this podcast. I think I did bring you up. I was like, anything that I'm saying to you, you're not listening to me.
100%.
Like literally, I might as well actually spoken to the screen behind me because you wasn't listening to any of us.
No.
And it was like, you just need to calm down. You need to calm down. You've got this. We can all help you. But you actually, because like your dad said, you were on.
That's the thing. It was like, there was no one and nothing that could settle my anxiety or the overwhelm I was feeling. No one could say anything.
Also, do you know, like, obviously I believe in frequencies. And when you're vibrating at that, you was actually vibrating to everyone around you
100%.
because you would have been vibrating that to Monroe.
Oh yeah,
who's like, actually I can't settle because she's just off her head.
So 100%, she was and
uptight.
She was feeling it. She obviously had really bad acid reflux, and so but there was times where I was like, I was panicked, and I feel like she's on my chest. Of course, she's gonna feel that for me. But what was really interesting was the minute that I started to really admit that what I was going through, because I think as a mum as well, you feel you're weaker when you're not being strong, right? As a woman, we like to be strong, but actually there was actually some strength I found in just going, I'm struggling. Like, I'm actually like saying those words, like, I'm not coping well, I'm struggling, to friends, to everyone, like, everyone could hear it in my voice, like, I was not coping.
We all knew.
Do you know what I mean? But it was when I said it out loud, just going like, there's something wrong with me. Like, this is not normal. I'm at the extreme now of this, of the normal anxieties that we have about like the stairs and everything. I was at the extreme of that. I was at the extreme of overwhelm, and I could not cope. And that needed to be said. And when I said that, and I kind of rallied everyone around me, and I got that support of just like, I'm not coping, I need help. And I got some help. The minute I started to calm Monroe
calm down,
and she is the happiest baby. And obviously we got the medicine for reflux and everything. There was a lot of factors, but I could tell she just became, when I was calmer and when the naps weren't as big of a thing, because nap anxiety is a big thing that I think moms don't always talk about with each other. But I think sometimes we forget, like, of course we want the baby to sleep, but I want to have a cup of tea and have a break. I want the nap to me.
I also do think some people overtalk it, and your child is not the same as anyone else's child. Yeah. So don't sit with your friends. Don't talk about the sleep.
Yeah,
and just talk about what's going on in EastEnders.
Yeah, like the sleep can become an obsession.
Until next time, I'm Kelsey Parker, and this has been Mum's the Word. And we'll be back with another episode, same time, same place, next week.